Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to present to you today on the topic of industrial relations. This is the first slide, which is our cover slide, titled by Roy's Pathfinder with a focus on industrial relations. During this presentation, we'll explore the key aspects of industrial relations, including its importance, main concepts, and how it impacts both employers and employees. So, let's get started and delve into this important subject together. Industrial relations, or IR, refers to the complex web of interactions that happen between employers, employees, trade unions, and the government. It's essentially about how all these different parties work together within the workplace. The main goal here is to establish clear employment terms, things like wages, working conditions, and benefits, and to maintain harmony at work. When these relationships are managed well, it leads to a more productive and positive work environment. Throughout this presentation, we'll see how effective IR practices support both business success and employee satisfaction. So, understanding this dynamic is key to grasping the broader picture of workplace management. When we talk about uninterrupted production, what we're really emphasizing is how effective industrial relations play a crucial role in ensuring that operations run smoothly without frequent disruptions. When management and employees work well together, conflicts are minimized, which means the production process can continue seamlessly. This allows the company to utilize its full capacity, producing the maximum amount possible without unnecessary stoppages. Moving on to industrial peace and reduced disputes, a positive relationship between management and workers fosters cooperation. Instead of conflicts escalating into strikes or lockouts, issues are addressed through open dialogue. This approach not only resolves disputes more efficiently, but also creates a more harmonious work environment, which benefits everyone involved. Lastly, when we have good industrial relations, we see a direct impact on productivity and morale. A positive relationship encourages workers to feel motivated and valued. When employees are motivated, they tend to be more productive and efficient, which ultimately benefits the entire organization. In summary, good industrial relations are fundamental because they help keep operations steady, promote peace and cooperation, and boost both morale and productivity, all of which are essential for the success of any organization. Let's delve into the importance of industrial relations by exploring some key aspects. First, employee welfare and safety. It's about creating a stable, healthy working environment that guarantees fair wages, safe working conditions, and the overall protection of labor rights. When employees feel secure and valued, they're more motivated and productive. Next, we have economic growth. Good industrial relations help enhance efficiency and reduce wastage of resources like manpower, materials, and machinery. This not only boosts company profits, but also contributes to higher economic growth for the entire country. Finally, encouraging cooperation is crucial. It fosters what we might call a mental revolution, where employees and employers see themselves as partners, working together towards common goals. This promotes collaborative decision-making and a more harmonious workplace environment. All these aspects, welfare, economic benefits, and cooperation, are interconnected and support the broader theme of building a sustainable, productive industrial ecosystem. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of industrial relations. First, we have labor relations, which mainly focus on the interactions between unions and management. This is where negotiations, collective bargaining, and sometimes disputes happen, all aimed at maintaining a balance between employee rights and organizational goals. Next, there's employer-employee relations, which involve direct interactions between staff members and management. This includes day-to-day communication, addressing individual concerns, and fostering a positive work environment. Building strong relationships here can really boost morale and productivity. Then we have group relations, which refer to the relationships between different employee groups, like technicians, supervisors, or administrative staff. These dynamics are important because they influence cooperation, teamwork, and overall workplace harmony. Finally, community or public relations focus on how the industry interacts with the broader local community. This could involve community engagement, corporate social responsibility, and ensuring the industry maintains a positive reputation in the area. Understanding these different types helps us see the bigger picture of how organizations manage their human resources and maintain a healthy work environment. Let's talk about the systems approach to industrial relations, which was developed by John Dunlop back in 1958. This perspective sees labor management interactions not as isolated incidents, but as part of a larger, interconnected system. Think of it like a web where every part influences the others. The core idea here is that environmental factors, such as technology, markets, and power dynamics, play a critical role in shaping how employers, workers, and the government interact. These factors help create a network of rules and expectations that govern workplace behavior. So, rather than viewing conflicts or negotiations as separate events, the systems approach emphasizes understanding the relationships and the context that influence these interactions. It's about seeing the bigger picture, how all these elements work together to maintain stability or bring about change in industrial relations. This approach really helps us grasp how complex and interconnected the workplace environment actually is. Now, let's consider interdependence. No single actor in a system can truly act alone. They are all interconnected. The actions of one impact others, creating a web of relationships that we need to understand. This interdependence means that every decision or move influences the broader system, emphasizing how interconnected and reliant we all are within this framework. Moving on to stability, a system remains stable only when there is agreement, not just on the rules, but on a shared understanding of those rules, what we call the web of rules. Plus, there's a shared ideology about roles, responsibilities, and expectations that keeps everything balanced. Without this common ground, stability becomes difficult to maintain. Finally, let's talk about environmental impact. External forces, such as economic conditions, legal regulations, and social trends, play a critical role. They shape how industrial relations evolve and how systems adapt over time. These forces are always at work, influencing decisions and behaviors beyond the immediate control of the actors involved. All of these elements, the interdependence, the need for stability, and the external influences, are core to understanding the system approach and how it operates in real-world scenarios. The Dunlop framework plays an important role in helping us understand conflict within industrial relations, and it's also useful for shaping policy development. It provides a structured way to analyze how different elements interact across various cultures, which is crucial in today's globalized world. However, it's important to recognize its limitations as well. Critics like Richard Hyman argue that it tends to focus too much on formal structures, which can make it seem a bit static. In reality, industrial relations are often dynamic, with conflicts that are complex and driven by power struggles. So, while the Dunlop framework offers valuable insights, we should be aware that it may not fully capture the fluid, often conflicting nature of capitalist societies. This understanding helps us appreciate both the strengths and the limitations of the model within the broader context of industrial relations. The Gandhian approach to industrial relations is fundamentally rooted in principles like truth, nonviolence, and the doctrine of trusteeship. What this means is that it promotes a view where capital and labor are seen as partners working together, rather than as adversaries. This perspective encourages cooperation and understanding between employers and employees. It also emphasizes resolving disputes through voluntary arbitration and mutual understanding, rather than through force or confrontation. The idea is to foster collective action and dialogue, making disputes easier to settle amicably. And importantly, strikes are considered a last resort, something that should only be used for just causes after all other avenues have been exhausted. This approach aligns with the overall theme of promoting harmony and ethical conduct in industrial relations, guiding us towards a more just and peaceful working environment. Let's delve into some key principles that underpin the Gandhian approach to industrial relations. First, the trusteeship principle. This concept encourages employers to see themselves not as sole owners of industrial property, but as trustees. That means managing resources responsibly and ethically, always keeping in mind the welfare of employees and society at large. It also invites workers to see themselves as co-owners, sharing in the responsibility and benefits, fostering a sense of partnership rather than conflict. Next, we have voluntary arbitration. When direct negotiations hit a dead end, instead of resorting to strikes or lockouts, disputes should be resolved through voluntary arbitration. This approach promotes dialogue and understanding, helping both sides reach a fair resolution without disrupting the peace or productivity. Then there's the idea of nonviolent action, or satyagraha. While strikes are recognized as legitimate tools for protest, they must be peaceful and nonviolent. It's crucial that such actions are only used after all other avenues have been exhausted. The focus is on maintaining moral high ground and ensuring that the struggle remains just and ethical. Connecting these points to the broader theme, they reflect a commitment to peaceful, ethical, and cooperative methods of resolving industrial disputes. This approach not only aims to protect relationships, but also to build a more just and harmonious industrial environment. Now, let's talk about moral appeals. This approach emphasizes that conflicts can often be resolved through moral persuasion rather than coercion. The goal here is to encourage a genuine change of heart between the parties involved, fostering understanding and harmony rather than forcing decisions through pressure. It highlights the importance of moral values in resolving disputes. Moving on to workers' responsibilities, it's crucial that workers focus on self-improvement. Improving skills not only benefits individual workers, but also strengthens the overall workforce. Reducing industrial accidents is essential for safety and productivity, and avoiding waste helps in conserving resources and maintaining efficiency. Additionally, strikes should never be used as a tool for political gain. Instead, they should serve purely to address workplace issues. Finally, regarding union functioning, trade unions should primarily aim for the economic and moral betterment of their members. This means working constructively, using methods that are non-political and focused on positive change. The idea is to build a better, fairer working environment through cooperative efforts, aligning with the Gandhian principles of truth and nonviolence. Overall, these key points reinforce the importance of moral integrity and constructive action in social and labor relations. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really appreciate your engagement and interest throughout this presentation. Remember, the key takeaways are the importance of understanding these concepts and how they can be applied to make a meaningful difference. If you take away anything, let it be that success often depends on the insights we've discussed and the actions we choose to take. I encourage you to reflect on how these ideas can be integrated into your own work or projects. Once again, thank you for being here and for your commitment to growth and learning. I look forward to seeing how you apply these concepts moving forward.